cat brain has dreams, big dreams. It wants to be rich. It wants to be respected. It wants a better body, a better life, a better future. But cat brain also has a secret addiction, comfort. And every time you try to improve your life, cat brain panics. It whispers, not now, tomorrow, later. And you listen. Not because you're weak, but because cat brain is smart. It doesn't attack your goals. It attacks your energy. And slowly, without you noticing, it turns your life into a loop. Wake up, scroll, eat, delay, regret, sleep. Repeat. And one day, you wake up older and realize you didn't fail because you weren't talented. You failed because you never started. Because cat brain kept you asleep. Welcome to Cat Brain. This is not a motivational channel. This is a warning. Because if you don't understand how cat brain works, it will quietly ruin your life. Not with pain, not with violence, but with comfort. And comfort is the most dangerous drug ever created. Cat brain is ancient. It was built for survival. Thousands of years ago, your ancestors didn't need discipline. They needed to stay alive. They needed to save energy, because back then, energy was life. So cat brain developed a simple rule: avoid pain, seek comfort. And in the wild, that rule made sense. But in modern life, that rule is a curse. Because today, your survival is not threatened by predators. Your survival is threatened by your own habits. Your survival is threatened by your phone, your bed, your dopamine, your distractions. And cat brain doesn't understand the difference. Cat brain doesn't care about your future. Cat brain doesn't care about your goals. Cat brain only cares about one thing: how do I feel right now? And if the answer is uncomfortable, cat brain will fight. Not with logic, but with emotions. Sudden tiredness, sudden hunger, sudden boredom. And you think you're tired, but you're not. You're just being sabotaged.
Effort is painful. Not physically, but mentally. Effort requires resistance, and resistance is the one thing cat brain cannot tolerate. Because cat brain is like a lazy cat in a warm room. It doesn't want to move. It doesn't want to struggle. It wants to stay comfortable. So when you open your laptop to work, cat brain starts negotiating. It says, let's just check one notification first. Let's watch one video first. Let's eat something first. And you fall for it. Because cat brain is not loud. Cat brain is quiet. It doesn't scream. It whispers. And whispers are more dangerous than screams, because whispers sound like your own thoughts, so you believe them. Cat brain is addicted to dopamine, not the kind you earn, the kind you steal. Quick dopamine, cheap dopamine, the dopamine you get from scrolling, from sugar, from junk food, from entertainment, from comfort, from doing nothing. And this is where the trap begins. Because every time you choose easy pleasure, cat brain gets rewarded. And every time cat brain gets rewarded, it becomes stronger. Your discipline becomes weaker. Your attention becomes weaker. Your motivation becomes weaker. Your future becomes weaker. And slowly, you become the type of person who wants everything, but does nothing. The type of person who talks about success, but lives in distraction. The type of person who says, I have potential, but never touches it. Because cat brain doesn't want potential. Cat brain wants pleasure, right now.
Cat brain doesn't say, I'm lazy. Because if it said that, you would fight back. Instead, cat brain says something more dangerous. I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow is cat brain's favorite word, because tomorrow feels safe. Tomorrow feels responsible. Tomorrow feels like progress. But tomorrow is a lie, because tomorrow never comes. When tomorrow arrives, it becomes today, and cat brain will say the same thing again, tomorrow. And you don't notice the damage because procrastination is silent. It doesn't hurt today. It hurts later. It hurts your future self. It hurts the version of you that could have been great. And that version of you is slowly dying. Here is the truth. Cat brain is not your friend. It acts like it protects you, but it actually traps you. Because cat brain doesn't want growth. Growth means pain. Growth means discomfort. Growth means risk. And cat brain hates risk. So it keeps you in a cage made of comfort, a cage made of excuses, a cage made of entertainment, a cage made of later. And the cage is so soft, you don't even realize you're imprisoned. You call it relaxation, you call it rest, you call it taking a break. But you're not resting, you're escaping. Escaping from your responsibilities, escaping from your potential, escaping from the fear that deep inside you know you should be doing more. Most people think procrastination is about laziness. It's not. Procrastination is fear. Cat brain is afraid. Afraid of failure, afraid of rejection, afraid of being judged, afraid of proving to itself that it's not good enough. So cat brain does something clever. It delays. Because if you never try, you never fail. If you never start, you can still fantasize about being great. And fantasy feels good. Fantasy is safe. Fantasy doesn't require work. But fantasy is also poison, because it keeps you satisfied with dreams instead of progress. And one day you wake up and your dreams are still dreams, not because you couldn't achieve them, but because you never suffered enough to earn them. If you fight cat brain directly, you will lose, because cat brain has years of experience controlling you. But cat brain has one weakness. It is terrified of momentum. Cat brain can resist big tasks, but it cannot resist small movement. So the strategy is simple. Don't aim for greatness, aim for movement. If you want to exercise, don't say, I will work out for 1 hour. Say, I will stand up. If you want to study, don't say, I will study for 3 hours. Say, I will open the book. If you want to clean your room, don't say, I will clean everything. Say, I will pick up 1 item. And once you move, cat brain begins to lose control, because action creates energy, and energy destroys excuses. The hardest part is not doing the work. The hardest part is starting. So don't start big, start small. Start stupidly small, because even a small spark can burn down an entire prison.
Cat brain is like a spoiled animal. If you punish it, it rebels. If you force it too hard, it escapes. But if you train it, it adapts. So give cat brain rewards, small rewards, not after a month, after a task, after effort, after action. Because cat brain needs dopamine, but dopamine doesn't have to come from scrolling. It can come from progress. It can come from winning. It can come from achievement. So create a system. Work for 5 minutes, reward. Work for 10 minutes, reward. Work for 30 minutes, reward. Over time, cat brain learns a new rule. Effort is not danger. Effort is survival. Effort is power. Effort is freedom. Listen carefully. Your life is not ruined by one big mistake. It's ruined by small delays, small excuses, small moments of weakness. Because every time you say tomorrow, you are voting for the person you will become. And if you keep voting for comfort, you will become weak.
If you keep voting for distraction, you will become empty. If you keep voting for laziness, you will become regret. And regret is painful. Not the loud pain of failure, but the silent pain of knowing you could have been more. You could have done more. You could have become someone else, but you chose comfort instead. Cat brain will always exist. It will always want comfort. It will always want to stay safe. But you are not cat brain. You are the one who can control it. You are the one who can choose pain today so you don't suffer regret tomorrow. So stop waiting. Stop negotiating. Stop scrolling. Stand up. Move. Even for 2 minutes. Because action is the language cat brain understands. And the moment you take action, cat brain starts losing its power. If you want the next episode about why cat brain overthinks at night, comment below. Subscribe to CatMind 101, because here we don't motivate, we wake you up.